Well, maybe some of you are wondering, undoubtedly you are, because I don't do anything without a reason or a direct command to do so. At least I try not to. That way I don't tend to fall on my face or do something horribly disfiguring to my spirit. That being said, you've heard me talk about churches and my dislike for most of the buildings and gathering places out there. What you haven't heard me say is, what do I think a church, a congregation, a gathering of people should look like for the purpose of edifying or building up the body of Christ? See, what do I think it should look like? Well, for one, that was my son trying to be respectful. That's cool. That's always cool. He's like, I gotta hide. Says a lot when your kids take what you do very seriously, because they know your level of commitment, and they know that the person that you're becoming is better than the person you used to be. Um, what do I think church should look like? Well, a group of people that gather and care more about each other than they do about themselves. Okay, what does this look like? Okay, a group of people, you know what that looks like. Look at a seminar or even a local church service, and you'll see a group of people carrying their Bibles and doing different things. But what's supposed to set us apart? Well, hopefully, our heartfelt love for one another, and the fact that there'll be people there that are bearing spiritual fruit. Hopefully, the majority. Um, these type of people care more about others than they do about themselves. Church isn't about a priest, a pastor, or trying to make sure his needs are met. It's about him and you pouring yourself out for the brothers and sisters who need you. It's about having a relationship with one another that goes beyond a hug and handshake. Yeah, I know I did that backwards. But you get the point, don't you? If that's as far as your relationship with people go when you go to church, that's useless. That's garbage. That's not going to benefit anybody. Even the world does that. It doesn't mean anything. What means something is when you can go to a place and all of a sudden you stop coming and people actually reach out and touch you. They try to get a hold of you. They make an effort to find out what happened to you. Are you okay? Are you in good health? Is there anything you need? That's what a true church looks like. A true church or congregation is more interested in the people and their needs than the building. Whether the pews are comfy enough so that when we're sitting there in our sermons and we're listening to the pastor preach, we're comfortable doing it. It makes it a little bit more tolerable. Guys, if you don't see a problem with that, you're probably spiritually asleep. I could sit on a stone in the middle of a desert during a drought and be freaking happy as you've ever seen me if I was with a group of people that love God, talking about God, praising God, and just enjoying each other's company, truly getting to know one another, truly opening up to one another, truly expressing their loves, their joys, their hurts, their struggles, and looking for that strength that comes from a multitude of counsel. That's the kind of stuff I live for. So that way, when somebody comes into your building or your congregation who doesn't know God, even if they think they do, they can look at you and say, wow, this place really loves God. They know each other by name. They know more than that. They really care for one another. They're not so wrapped up in the hierarchy. Well, he's a ministerial servant, or well, he's a clergy, or he's the pastor's second brother's third cousin. He runs the praise and worship group. You got to know him. No, you want to know the people with the most Jesus. You want to know the people with the littlest part of Jesus. Because what you do for those people, you do for Jesus Christ himself. Tell me I'm wrong. Prove to me I'm wrong. If this is your church, then I'd be thrilled to talk to you. I'd be thrilled to meet you. I'd be thrilled to tell people and to spread that word that, hey, you want to stay spiritually awake and you live in this area, go to these folks. They're decent people. I like it more when my spirit bears witness with someone else's spirit that, hey, he's really a follower of Christ. He's really a disciple. Then I'll pray and ask and say, like, uh, Jehovah God, does he know your son? Yes, he does. Sometimes I'll even ask Jesus. I'll be like, Jesus, does he know you? Especially when he's talking to me, or he'll say things to me at times. And I'll ask questions like that. And he'll tell me instantly. That's why it's so important to have something in the temple of God that's within you. What's the point of being the temple of God if he never dwells there? Kind of useless. It's like owning a car that you never drive. It's not going to benefit anybody. What's the point of a church that never helps people to foster relationships with other people so that they might help one another and do and give what's beneficial. I'm talking about tangible things. Not just I'll pray for you, sister, I'll pray for you, brother. But literally saying, what do you need? And meaning it. If they need a deck, you help them build a deck. If they need groceries, you go get them some groceries. If you need whatever. But how are they going to open up and tell you what they need if they don't really know you and you don't really know them? Get to know one another. And then tell me who you are. Because I want to know you too. Okay?